We're back with more of the WHHI news. Joining me now is 14th Circuit Solicitor Duffie Stone. 12 solicitors came together and issued a statement regarding a new law that will be on the books related to fentanyl-caused deaths and the criminal sentencing for those. What did the statement say about the bill? And there were issues with it. Can you talk about it?
Well, here's the reason we sent the solicitor sent this statement out. Two problems. One is at some point we will all be in a situation in which we are meeting with somebody who has lost someone to fentanyl, a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, and they are going to expect that we are able to hold the person who provided the fentanyl to their child accountable, and this statute doesn't do that. And I think you've heard a lot of people praising it, saying,
why doesn't it?
Well, it doesn't do it because it makes it almost impossible to prove. If you hear from parents, and I will tell you, I go back to the time that the General Assembly passed a trafficking law, fentanyl trafficking law. I heard from mothers who had lost children to fentanyl. They were very upfront about making sure that everybody understood their son or daughter did not overdose on fentanyl. Their son or daughter didn't know they were taking fentanyl. Fentanyl is a disguised drug.
It's put in other things like
it's
cocaine
put in other
or
things.
heroin.
That's right.
So.
And if even to this point, the SLED made an arrest and a seizure of a great deal of fentanyl a few days ago. The Attorney General announced it, and the name of the operation was the Devil in Disguise. The point is that fentanyl is disguised. Fentanyl is not something that it's stamped, and many times it's stamped on
Even
the pill or whatever, and
know.
some other things. Yeah.
Or I can say to you as the dealer, oh, I feel badly this person passed away, but I didn't know there was fentanyl in it.
That's exactly what somebody said in Lexington County this time 2 months ago. At sentencing, they were being sentenced for something else, but they had given what they thought was heroin to a friend. And what we as solicitors had been urging was this needs to either be, if you give an illegal substance to somebody, no matter what kind of poison it is, if it's heroin, if it's cocaine, if it's fentanyl, if you give it to them and they die from that, then you should be held accountable for that. The way this is structured, though, it is a requirement that we as prosecutors prove that the person that gave it knows it's fentanyl, and that, even if they did know, it's going to be very difficult to prove.
I'm going to say it's flawed. You don't need to, but it sounds like this is something that may not be used. But I have to tell you, we all as politicians, or we want to feel good. Gee, we passed this bill that deals with fentanyl. It's killed so many people. Let's feel good and pat ourselves on the back. So I kind of understand. I know the governor is in favor of it. The attorney general says it's a good bill or a good law. So what do we need to be doing instead?
And I talked to the chief of staff of the governor's office. I'm expecting the governor to sign it, and I understand that. It's not that the bill hurts us. It's just that it will not really be an effective tool. And that's the second point, and the reason that the solicitors sent the letter in that they did. There are things that can help. Number one, 2 years ago, the General Assembly passed a fentanyl trafficking bill. We had to have that. That was an essential tool, and that has been very useful. It's been something that we've been able to take out traffickers with this bill that we didn't have before. The second thing is something that you and I have talked about before, which is the gang bill.
Where are we at with that, though?
Well, it's pending. It's passed through Senate Judiciary.
Why is that more effective in dealing with an issue like this?
Because, again, in order for fentanyl to get to the people's children and family and friends, in order for it to get to, it has to be manufactured, it has to be wholesaled, it has to be distributed. There's an organization there. And what the gang bill allows us to do is take out the organization and prevent the stuff from ever hitting our streets to begin with. And that's something that we've been pushing for several years, and I think that's something that actually can help us fight against fentanyl.
But it doesn't, this sounds awful, but it's not as, I don't want to say sexy, but it doesn't grab people as much as, so
and
you have to really spread the word, correct?
But the point is, we don't want to raise the false hopes of being able to do something we can't do. It's being touted as an essential tool for prosecutors. It's not. However, there are some tools out there that we can use, and we hope to be able to have access to those tools.
Duffie Stone, 14th Circuit Solicitor, thanks so much for letting us know why this statement came out from the solicitors. And I know you're going to be following the anti-gang bill as it progresses, so we'll have you back about that too.
Great.
Okay?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And we will be back in just a moment.